At this moment, allow me, ladies and gentlemen, to welcome the chairman of the board of Gaba Bible Institute, Reverend Obed Rubaiza, to come, and after he's given a few remarks, he'll be the one to welcome our guest of honor to address us all. You are welcome, Pastor.
Before I invite the Honorable Prime Minister to come and address us on this occasion, I want to first of all acknowledge the members of the board of governors who are here, of Gaba Bible Institute. I also want to acknowledge the presence of the General Supervisor of the Full Gospel Churches, Reverend Jetham Matebi. You're welcome. I want to acknowledge the presence of my big son, Peter Emiao. You're welcome. That shows I'm growing old. Each time my sons take a step, then it shows that I should always give away. Briefly, let me introduce my colleagues on the board. We've heard from Pastor Peter Kasiri, the founder of GBI. He's been here. I want to introduce Mr. Jack Masiko. Jack, thank you so much. I want to introduce Pastor Titus Owundo in absentia. Pastor Titus Owundo is a member of our board and is the pastor and the chair of the Deliverance Churches. I want to introduce Rosemary Odong in absentia. She's been sick. She should be here today. Odong works with one of the government institution in Nakawa. I want to introduce Peace Ziwa. Peace Ziwa, a prominent businesswoman, a member of our board. I want also to acknowledge the presence of Amanya Enoch, one of the representatives of the institute, and Francis Wamukota, representative of our staff, and our principal, whom you have heard already, who is also a member and our secretary to the board, Jeff Atherstone. Am I correct, Jeff? Good. Thank you so much. This is a team I am honored to lead, and I'm honored to lead such a progressive institution. It gives me an honor this day, the guest of honor, Prime Minister of Uganda, to address this gathering briefly on what is happening in the Christian institutions. Pastor Peter has already stated that this is a historical moment, and indeed, to me, this is a historical moment in the life of GBI, and particularly to me because I have known GBI since inception. I have seen it in its neonate and infant stages, and now I can witness this great moment of opening a permanent home for Gaba Bible Institute here at Buroba today. This means that GBI has come of age. And I think, Dr. Robert, you agree with me that this is a very, very big step that we have taken. I want to appreciate what has been said by this distinguished member of the National Council for Higher Education. I think those remarks are cause for our pride, but also a challenge for us to forge ahead and to be able to build a name in this institution. Ladies and gentlemen, our mission is to develop a new generation of Christian leaders. Leadership development, however, involves capacity building. And with all intent and purposes, capacity building is about acquiring skills. Whereas leaders cannot be made alone by the skills they acquire. It goes without saying that skills are a vital tools to leadership. Take example of automobile. An automobile without engine and fuel to cause it to move is simply an impossible object. Similarly, leadership without skills is malfunctional and breeds incompetence. For the last decades, and Pastor Peter Miao has well ably expounded on that, since the movement of the church growth, spearheaded by a gentleman called McGovern, there has been a surge in planting churches over the world. Ladies and gentlemen, nothing excites the church planter like the birth of electronic media, or what is now known as televangelism. This innovation has hugely contributed to the current boom in the church growth. However, it has also revealed that there is a tremendous training need in the church leadership today. Each time you see X and Y, Z addressing the people on air on a good television screen, that's the thing that will always hit your face, the need for training of leaders. Throughout the history, the trend has been that to every Joshua, there is a Moses. To every Samuel, there is Eli. To every Elisha, there is Elijah. To every Paul, of course, there is Gamaliel. This is a gentleman who is never mentioned except by Paul, who was mentored by him. This pattern has been reproduced again and again through biblical training centers, such as this one we're opening today. The onus is on us leaders today to make sure that we seize this opportunity to bridge the widening gap that the chairperson of the Evangelical Fellowship has just expounded to us. Lack of training. Allow me, ladies and gentlemen, to echo the words of Apostle Paul to his mentee, Timothy, and I quote, "The things which you have heard from me in the presence of many witnesses, these entrust to faithful men who will be able to teach others also." Not teach others. It goes without saying that you cannot teach unless you have been taught. I'm happy to have distinguished members of academia in this country, professors and doctors. You cannot teach unless you have been taught. That is a principle that we cannot avoid. However, there has been a belief among one section of our Christian faith that leadership training is nothing but a cemetery. This has been heard over and over again. This, however, contradicts what we see in the life of Jesus Christ and his disciples. Jesus began his ministry with the preparation of the first Christian leaders that Pastor Miao has just mentioned, known as the disciples. But the term disciples that is used here was translated from the Greek word mathetes, which means a learner. In other words, the 12 were learners. And Jesus chose the best time for learning. Our university graduates, especially in the area of arts, take 3 years our guest of honor. And Jesus went beyond 3 years. He took 3 years and a half. I think that was adequate enough to train a leader to a level that is acceptable, ladies and gentlemen. Cemetery or no cemetery, the issue of leadership development is supported by our Lord Jesus Christ and is badly needed for the good of the church and the church development needs. I therefore want to appeal to the leaders here present of various churches and Christian organizations to encourage rather than discourage those who want to train, those who want to acquire skills for their leadership, those who want to do better and want to do it in a better informed way. I want to appeal to you that you can use this institution, available to you, affordable to you, accessible to you, to use it for the development of the leadership of our churches, of our communities, and of our people today. Thank you very much. And may I now take the opportunity to invite the Honorable Prime Minister to come and address this gathering. Let us stand as the Prime Minister comes to address us.